And there we go. Welcome to episode 3 of our podcast, Stadia Party Chat Podcast. I'm here with Sebastian, my co-host.
Hello.
Um, I'm Ricardo, and we're here to talk to you about Stadia this week. So, as usual, we'll begin with talking about what we are playing this week. This week, we jumped into Destiny 2 to complete our flawless run. Nads was there with me. We both were able to obtain the shader. Uh, there was some challenges. Mostly, I would say our challenges stemmed from internet issues or computer crashes. I think on the third run, we were able to get it done after we solved those issues we had.
Yeah.
I
I had
mean,
some issue there with my computer crashing, and it's nothing related to Stadia. It's just like a program badly installed. So,
and I
but
myself, I shouldn't have tried to play from outside in the pool. I wasn't obviously going to get my 4K connection from outside, unless I brought. Now I'm thinking about it. If I brought my little Nest Google thing outside, I could probably get the connection I need to really get a good gameplay outside.
yeah, probably. It's just like if you're on Wi-Fi, like if you're outside, it might be harder because you got to go through the layer of brick of the house for having a good connection. If you have a wire connection, it might be like way easier, right? So,
Yeah, yeah. And well, that was my issue was I had my Chromecast wired, but it was my controller that had to go through the
uh,
Wi-Fi, and that's what disconnected on me when we were doing I think it was the Oracle phase, and I
yeah.
was just frozen there.
That's funny.
Some
Anything to get more sun, right?
Exactly. I wanted to be outside, especially with our fire team and their schedule. I mean, for them it's 7, 8 o'clock, but for us it's like 1, 2 in the afternoon. So
Yeah, exactly.
some tips for flawless. Everybody, if you can, bring a well. You're gonna want one hunter to have access to Omni Oculus and the invisible grenades when you're going through the Gorgon maze. Um, don't try any fancy tricks. Just go the regular path that everyone goes down. Stay together. You should make it fine. The encounters are very simple when you take them at their protocols. Just go through it very methodically. Pop your wells, pop your rifts. If you're a hunter, make sure you're going in viz. Don't really risk anything. Um, Everyone in our fire team knows don't bring Eyes of Tomorrow. It is not going to help in any situation on flawless runs.
Yeah, or any like GL, any grenade launcher, anything that can kill you really. Like I think the grenade launcher we were using was either Wither Ord or what's the other one that just like create a fire on the ground.
The
Uh
Deafening Whisper.
yeah, Deafening Whisper.
Yeah.
So and then like I think we had 4 Warlock, 1 Titan, and 1 Hunter. So Titan to have bubble was useful the last encounter. The Hunter again, like you mentioned, for the Gorgon encounter, and the Warlock because like for survivability with the well. I also use any mods that will like keep you alive longer, like the charge of a light, any that protective light that give you like that edge, like where like you can survive longer when you're red. Or also the well mod. There's a new one where it's a well of life. Every time you pick up a solar well, it give you a regen boost for like 10 seconds. So that's a great one. The only issue is that you got to go get those wells. So that make it harder, but like it's still like an extra, right?
One more mod I want to mention is the Striking Light. So that is an arc mod. It costs about 5 points, and it goes on any armor piece that is arc class. And that actually you gain damage resistance as you
Mm.
sprint. So in situations where you have to run from a situation, where you're under heavy fire, I mean, it's perfect because you get that
Yeah,
resistance as you're running. So very valuable to have as well on your arsenal for mods.
exactly. Sweet.
Cool. Then we went through the new expunge mission, down the Vex story this season. Pretty cool. Taking on a Hydra at the end. This is a short encounter.
Hmm.
Um, Able to finish it in the 5 to 8 minutes very easily. This is a great one if you want to get your flawless triumphs done, if you want to get your encounter time under 10 minutes done. Unfortunately, it won't work for the weekly seasonal because you'll need to, I believe, do the one on the Tangled Shore under
Yeah,
10
the
minutes.
labyrinth. Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to do the labyrinth under 10 minutes, but like it's durable also if you have like your gauntlet all maxed out.
But there is a triumph where you have to do it like 10 or 15 times under 10 minutes. So this is a perfect
Hmm.
one just to farm and get that triumph done.
Yeah.
Next this week, we were cleaning up our vaults. So this is a problem with Destiny. I saw in the notes, I think I may be wrong that there may be some vault upgrades or modifications coming. I know we didn't discuss earlier, and I'll have to look into it for our next episode, but I hope they do something to the vault to help us. I mean, I've always said as part of a cloud gaming service, we should have an unlimited vault. There's no reason why we're dealing with storage caps. This is why we have the cloud.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. It just because the fact they removed the I call it the expiry date on the weapons, but like because they removed that, like now they went back to the way it was. Now like the weapons gonna last forever. As soon you get your god roll or what you want, it's good, but they have so many more weapon coming out. It just like it create like a restriction within the space how many weapon you want to keep. And if you're an order like me to that like to collect all the weapons, so I have the possibility, then like your vault's gonna get full very fast. So
it also doesn't benefit people who are three different characters because then
Mhm.
you have three different armor sets you got to choose from and you got to store that inventory. And if you're just one character, I mean, the exotics you don't have to hold, the armor you don't have to hold. It's so much easier. Some tips to keep it
Mhm.
clean: delete exotic weapons that you probably won't use. You can always claim those again from collections. They may just be sitting there taking up space. For instance, the Queen Breaker. I mean, when was the last time you broke out a Queen Breaker to do some damage? Like, just delete that out of your vaults. You're not going to need it. There's
Yeah.
more weapons obviously out there. I mean, for myself, I never use Sweet Business, so I made the executive choice to get rid of that guy. So get rid of those. And if you're storing ghosts or speeders in your vaults, just clean that up, get rid of it. There's no reason to keep those when you can simply claim them again from collections.
Exactly, because the other thing too, if you have some inventory item that you have and you don't necessarily need, like the mod component, I think I have like still like 5 stack of them. Yeah, it did take forever to delete. I create a macro on my computer so I can click on it and go do something else to delete them, but I feel like I keep accumulating them very fast. I know in the past we had way more inventory in there, so like it was taking a lot of space. Um, One other thing will be like if you go through your weapon, use like little light, use dim, use light.gg to like identify what do you consider your god roll. Because I know understanding like all those application or website, it's like based on people what they like. But if there's like a perk that you really like, just like go with that. Like and then just try the weapon. And I also found like if like there's a type of weapon, like let's say a kinetic sidearm, but you already have a sidearm that you like to use all the time, the other kind just delete them. If you don't not gonna use them, delete them. And I'm bad for that too, because I like to keep one of everything. And yeah, I think yesterday I was going through and I saw like one of the sidearm, like, oh yeah, that could be a god roll. I'm like, no, 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 I'm just gonna delete it. I'm not gonna order it just to have it in my vault and like not use it at all, right?
like the lonesome or the high albedo, I think it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you gotta just delete them. Keep
Yeah,
one of either and then delete the rest.
exactly. Just like keep one of the weapon type, right? So like a sidearm precision frame or something like that. So
Hopefully those tips help you clean up your vault. You want to make sure you have your vault numbers down. It's easier to just transfer stuff if you want to make a dump of just a bunch of stuff before you go into trials, or a bunch of Iron Banner and want to accumulate weapons. It's always good to just bring that vault down. Hopefully you can get it down to 250. I know that's a crazy ask. I may challenge myself to bring it down to 300, and we'll see. I'll send you a screenshot if I make it down to 300.
that's
Although
good.
I do want to mention something fun that happened while I was playing some trials. I ran into My Name is Bife. I think it is My Name is Bife. I
Yeah.
sent him a message. I mean, his team flattened our streak. I think we were on a 3-game winning streak, and we had to use one of our passages when we came up across their team. But I said hello, and I said I like watching his videos, and he gave me a little thumbs up there, and he said it was cool. So he said good game. So yeah, that was fun and neat.
Yeah, I think he was playing with Time too, right? So Time is very good PvP player.
Yeah, you got to watch out for the bow and the Arianas, which I was met with many times.
All
Cool.
right.
So Ubisoft Plus came to Stadia recently, in the within the last month, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
There's a deal right now where you can get the first month for $8 Canadian, and after that you are put onto their standard rate, which is the 19.99. And this allows you access to their catalog of games, their DLC, their upgrades. um, I've never experienced Ubisoft Plus before yesterday. And when I opened up a game for the first time, it was pretty cool just seeing all the unlocks fly at you, all the DLC. I mean, I opened up trials, and automatically I have all these cool costumes and fun bikes to customize right off the bat, and really make my character mine. So that was a cool experience, seeing Ubisoft Plus work. And
Yeah.
I look forward. I got like, I think 22 games. I think around, it was definitely more than 20, and more to come, obviously. But that was right away added to my Stadia catalog. Now I need an organization system, because I have like 100 games just scrolling across the rectangles.
Yeah, Stadia coming out with the filtering system soon, so that's gonna help definitely. But yeah, with Ubisoft Plus, I discovered that before Stadia came out in 2019. That's how I started playing Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And yeah, like it's great. You get the ultimate package basically. Every game they release, you get the everything part of it. And it's good way for like if you like all the Assassin's Creed, you want to try them all, you pay the subscription and you can have access to all of them. It's great. And it's like if you run out of game to play and you want to try some of the Ubisoft game, that's a good way to try it for 1 month. $8, you can cancel it right after you're done, like the month, or keep going from there. And then eventually you can cancel it. Say like the new DLC from Destiny coming out. It's come out like you're like, oh, I want to save some money. You just cancel it and resubscribe later, so it's not too bad, right?
And you're not going to lose your save progress. Like, you went right back into Breakpoint after you canceled the subscription, and everything was still there, right? Or how
It's
does that work?
Yeah, it's all cross save. So like your progress is saved within your Ubisoft account. So for myself, looking at Breakpoint, because I bought it on Stadia after that, I don't know if I lost my progress. It was cross save, so I could continue there. Um, that's a good question. I know because I played Division 2 also on I play on PC for a while, and then when it came out on Stadia, I play on there, and it was like cross progression, so cross save. So good question. If you lose everything, if you play like a game like Far Cry because it's a single player or Assassin's Creed, I'm not sure if you lose all your 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 save. If someone knows about that, let us know.
Yeah, I mean, and
Fantastic.
and we'll definitely look it up and try to bring it to you guys on our next episode if we can. After that, I bugged you to play a game that I was sort of jonesing for, and that was Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
That was, to my surprise, based in Toronto, which is the city that I grew up in. So I got to see the CN Tower, the Sky Dome on a mini map. The first level that opened up was a snowy street in Toronto, so that was very familiar to me. The post boxes all look the same. The garbage cans all look the same. So very cool to see a game in my backyard. Um, Side scroll, beat 'em up, pick up weapons. The buttons, we had no tutorials, and that's because we jumped straight into a network game.
Yeah.
Um, it was fun to play. We were on the easiest setting, I would say, and still getting handed to us a little bit.
Yeah, we were just trying to figure out the control at the same time, and yeah, definitely it was fun, very interesting. Like the fact that we were like walking the street of Toronto, and then like it just remind me of like a old arcade game I used to play, like Predator versus Alien, and like the Street Fighter. No, instead of Street Fighter, but
The
what?
Teenage Mutant Ninja
Yeah,
Turtles Lost
yeah,
in Time. Yes.
this one. Yeah, that was pretty fun. It was just like a throwback almost, but like, with better 8-bit graphic, if that makes sense.
Yeah, more fluidity. The AI was obviously really smart. The way they just jumped in at you every time. Really have to master the block technique to that
Mhm,
game. And as you leveled up, you seem to unlock new attacks. So I was able to slide and counter by the end of level 2. So those are two big things that were really able to change the tide on those ads coming at us.
mhm. But a
We
very
did
fun
uh,
game.
we did stream a little bit of it, so hopefully soon you'll be able to catch it on the channel here.
Yeah.
We have a channel if you are listening to us somewhere else on YouTube. Just type in Stadia Party Chat Podcast, and you can see us live, and you can check out some of our gaming videos. Nads has uh, been great at being able to post some streams for us, so thank you there. And I need to figure out the technical hurdle to allow me to stream games. So
Yeah.
coming soon.
And we're gonna have to add our voice so you guys can listen to us. It's just not only the gameplay. We're still figuring out some of the technical.
Coming soon. It's only episode 3. So after that, we jumped into some wildlands. Pretty cool. In my perspective, this was the precursor to Breakpoint. Having gone through Breakpoint with yourself and beating the story, this was pretty much same gameplay, open world, uh, special ops, take down people without being heard, investigate, find caches. But you said there are some differences between Breakpoint and Wildlands. So why don't you describe a little bit about that?
Yeah, because it's Wildland came out before Breakpoint. I think some of the stuff they added on Breakpoint that's very different from Wildland is like the skill tree. They changed that the way that you can access all the weapon. I think in like because we just played for a little bit, I'm not sure if you can customize weapon as much as Breakpoint, but it seemed like it's slightly different. I had to like try to figure out my inventory. The other thing, the other system they added on the breakpoint was like the climbing and like the falling down the hill type of system, like the animation. They added that to breakpoint. So uh, when Breakpoint came out, it wasn't at the same level as Wildland, but I think now Breakpoint is at the same level because you have the AI teammate that you can control, and you have like a little bit extra that Wildland had, and Breakpoint didn't had like at the when it came out. So yes, it's very similar. I've seen people talking that they like Wildland better. Maybe it's just because of like the how the the game is has a lot of livable. I try to find my words there, but like a lot of like other NPCs that they're not enemy. I found in Breakpoint, like you're going around, they're basically only enemy on the road. Where this one we play, and that's the first thing we notice is like, oh, there's civilian a little bit everywhere, like more than Breakpoint. So yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, that was one of the differences I had noticed. I remember now that you walk in and automatically all these cars driving by are not pulling over to see what you're doing and there's an investigation happening. They're just civilians driving by,
Mhm.
and try to reduce the casual impact or yeah, the
Mhm.
fatality there.
The casualty, yeah.
Cool, cool. Well, those were some cool games we got to jump into. I look forward to jumping into more Ubisoft. One I want to look forward to is definitely the Blood Dragon Far Cry. I just like the art style. I want to see
Hmm.
what that's about.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Uh,
the TWAB came out this week, and
yes.
you were looking through the TWAB. I just want to mention one thing before you get into the TWAB.
Hmm.
Today is the last day, if you're listening to this on June 13th, to submit your fashion. So get your fashion up. I've been seeing a lot of people submitting 4 shots, which I feel I did not do. But they have their transmog, and then they have a couple images of their guy in the wild. So if you're looking for the best chances to win and you're submitting late, do the 4 picture thing, and good luck out there. So Nads, I'll let you jump
Yeah,
into
ex
the TWAB.
like Ricardo said, like the fashion show is finishing today, so like submit your picture. I did the same thing. I just submitted one picture, but I think they have on the TWAB they're already showing like some of the top submission, I guess. So yeah, very interesting. That's very good they're doing this, I think. Um, what else? So within the TWAB, they mentioned about the challenge for Vault of Glass coming out at the next reset, which is going to be great. So we're already looking into that. Like the first one is going to be into the
Confluxes.
confluxes.
We
Yeah.
believe. We believe.
So this one will be like to defeat the Weimar until they begin sacrificing. So when they get to the conflux, they start sacrificing. That's when you want to kill them, not before. So I think our strategy is going to be like using super, a little bit like doing the other, no, the challenge, but the other triumph where you use your super with the relic. But in this case, you just use any super to kill them. Maybe like you can lower their health down like to almost nothing, let them like start sacrificing, use your heavy on them, something like that. So yeah. Um, the next one would be Oracle probably. Um, so we got to the Guardian's gonna have to rotate to shoot the Oracle, I guess. So that's gonna be an interesting one. A lot of coordination. So I think everybody in the team is gonna have to know how to do that part. So like everybody can shoot them.
We're gonna have to agree on numbers or positions
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
within our team. We have a little internal debate within our fire team. You guys may have it too. Let us know, what is the easiest method? Is it numbers for oracles, or is it
The
the
far
locations?
close, yeah.
Although what I'm seeing here is oracles, that may be the oracle encounter and
Yeah,
not Atheon,
yeah,
if
before the
I'm right.
Templar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That would be hard. The other one, I guess you gotta shoot three. You got three people going inside the either the past or future, so it could be it. So more to follow on that. Templar, so don't allow the Templar to teleport during DPS. I think that's quite easy to do. I think that's how we've been doing it every time we've we've done a Vault of Glass. So it's the best way to kill him in one phase. So Gatekeeper. Weimar and Minotaur must be defeated at the same time. That's gonna be an interesting one.
That's going to need vocal coordination for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be almost a 3, 2, 1 go, and I guess there's gonna be like some sort of play there, like maybe you get to defeat them within like 5 seconds between each other. So yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one. And Aetion went inside like either Past the Future or Mars Venus. Each player must take an Oracle each. Oh, okay, so that's the one from the Aetion. So the other one from Oracle, that might be before the Templar then. Okay, that's the
That's
one I
going to
was
be
explaining.
tricky. So we're going to have to really decide on numbers or far
Yeah,
right.
yeah, exactly. But that's when like if the team, like the three people get teleported, they just basically say, okay, I'll take the first Oracle to take it down. Then like the second one take it, and the third person's gonna have to drop the relic so you can take down the last Oracle. So it's gonna
Exactly.
follow that pattern. So
Won't be
that's
too tough.
doable. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's it for this part. Other than that, women at Bungie. So the Bungie's basically recognizing women within the games industry. So that's amazing. A lot of diversity into the community. Um, yeah, great thing they recognize that, because there are more and more women like in the gaming, either like developing games or even playing, right? So my wife, she's a big fan of video game too, so I recognize her when she like to play video games. She's a good player too. So next step is the GCX. So GCX is like basically the gaming community expo. So Bungie is going to be part of that. It's for collecting donation and support to various organization, which is good to support. There's like a emblem that you can get if you donate up to, I think, $50. Excuse me. So there's like a nice emblem you can get for that. And also, if you participate to the event, um, you got to find, is it 9 ghosts? Is that right? Or 7? For some reason I have 7, but yeah, 7 hidden ghosts within the portal, I guess. So like it's a virtual portal, you go in there and you got to find them. They say just to YouTube it to show that you have found all 7. I imagine that's gonna be like a community-wide like release. As soon as someone's gonna find it, it's gonna get the code for the emblem and it's gonna release it to everybody on Reddit or something like that. So what's your thought on that, Ricardo?
Bungie likes the number 7. So I'm going to assume it's 7 dead ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, I read it here like 7 dead ghosts. So that's that's good. I like that they're doing that. It's just like piquing interest on like different activity outside of the game, right? So
I'd wish the event was free to attend, but you know, it is what it is.
yeah, exactly. It's not free to attend. I think like it's $55 for the standard and $100 for the premium. I'm hoping like that like that price is basically a donation. So at the end of the day, whatever you donate, you just claim it on your taxes and government give it you some back. So I guess it's a plus there. So
There you
and
go.
then for every $7 donated, you get the chance to win like a statue of Erismore. So that's pretty interesting. If you're a collector, that will be great.
I can put it on my bookshelf behind me filled with game memorabilia. Oh wait, I don't have one.
You're gonna have to create one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got one in the back, so
you
I
got
need
it
to put
going
more
on.
Destiny stuff.
I
Uh,
actually have some pretty cool Cuphead mugs.
oh,
So I
nice.
want to start building a memorabilia wall back here.
Yeah, that would be great, right?
Yeah.
Moving on, they talk about some change within the boot of the assembler. So that's an exotic for the Warlock. I don't know much about it, but apparently was causing crash issue because of the number of riff. Don't know, like I haven't played with the those boots. I don't know about you, Ricardo.
Yeah, so I used the boots and it actually helped me get the Lumina catalyst, which was interesting. I had to to get recently. I'm just sort of chasing down these last catalysts I never went for. Um, so the problem was the seekers were crashing the game because there was too many of them, or the code. I'm not a technical person, but they fixed it so it doesn't crash anymore. And on top of that, these seekers that you popped out with your rift, that depending on healing or empowering, were going to look for fire team members, and they were going to give them those abilities. So if you're not in the rift, but you're close by, you're still going to get healing, or you're still going to get empowered buff. So that now is working much better. The seekers have been optimized. So I actually recently got a good roll when we did our flawless nightfall with Shinobi
Oh, nice.
on the warden one. So that was cool. And tips on that, we had 2 wells, a chaos reach, and we just tried not to die. We did it on legend and we got through it.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. Yeah, and I noticed like when you use this exotic during VOG, we didn't have any issue. So I don't know if it's like more a PC or console issue that it's crashing. I know on Stadia we didn't see it. If you've been playing on Stadia, you saw this happening, let us know.
Yeah,
Um,
I never saw it on Stadia. We were using the assembler boots on our contest mode clear, and I remember Rusty was using them, but I guess they weren't very optimized. So we managed to win despite of the bug. So that's cool.
yeah, exactly. Moving on, some more like updates. So they some of the bug fix. So they fix or they're gonna fix the golden gun to change to a previous patch. So apparently the golden gun doesn't do as much. Well, doesn't have as much range. A 6 shooter. I'm not like a hunter. I don't play hunter as often, but I didn't notice any difference. So that's good. They change it back to like what it was and like a better better than what it was basically. Um, and then it also have some fix for a known issue, little things there and there, which is good. And also there's mention about the sleeper simulant getting like a damage buff, right? I think we got that from Sunny. Is that right, Ricardo?
Uh, so personally, I had heard it from Azercross, and he had spoken, and I think Sonny may have mentioned it as well, but he had mentioned that the sleeper stimulant has a unique modifier for its crit damage, and that's why it didn't experience the same buff as the other linear fusion rifles did previously in the year. So now that's being fixed, and because of the unique multiplier, it's going a little bit above 15 to 16.5. So this allows it to be the heaviest hitting one hit damage weapon in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be able to hit, I don't know, what's 90,000 times probably 16.5. I'm not sure if that'll be the exact multiplication,
It
but
might, yeah, 115 maybe. I feel like it's a 15% damage boost or something like that.
I could see anywhere from 100 to 150 damage. And rocket launchers right now are hitting 90,000. I mean, you have the two-tailed, which is hard to beat with the double rockets. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's getting you around 180,000. It'll be interesting to see. I think it'll go active this Tuesday, so I'm gonna break mine out, and I'm gonna find this little fallen red bar, and I'm gonna snipe him in the head and see how much crit damage I can get.
Yeah, to check it out. Like same here. Sorry, I see Sony, but it's Aster Cross. Yeah. Yeah, and other than that, within the this week at Bungie, they have like their video of the week too. Some interesting one. There's like one that's like actually pretty good. There's this person is like using this controller. He's disabled a little bit, so he has like difficulty to use a normal controller from the look of it, and he just showed that he's able on controller to do the quick swap of shotgun to kill the at the end. So that's a pretty good video. Um, And other than that, there's like some art and also like a beat to the season of a Splicer, someone. I'm guessing that's Bungie. They create like um, a new music for like the background music. So that's pretty good. And that's pretty much it for this week at Bungie.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, great to hear it, and look forward to the challenges coming
Mm.
up this week. And I know you're still trying to get to max power level, so there'll be
Yeah.
that to do this week.
Yeah, I still have one piece of armor on my Titan and Warlock that needs to be 1320, and then after that, I'm gonna work on my Hunter, which is gonna catch up like pretty quickly. So.
Oh wow, you've
Mhm.
taken a back seat compared to previous seasons when we were locked up.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't able to play as much this week, but I'm trying to catch up over the weekend.
Cool. Cool. So we'll move on to our next segment of the show, which will go through some news we have coming to Stadia, cloud gaming. Nads, or Sebastian, our official E3 correspondent, will talk about some news coming up later on in the show. Starting off from the community blog at Stadia, we have Play Stadia on Chromecast with Google TV. Yay, it's coming.
Finally.
June 23rd, you will be able to access Stadia on Google TV. And oh my gosh, could it not come sooner? We have been waiting for this for a while. Look forward to it. I have a Chromecast with Google TV on my big screen, so I will finally have access to Stadia. Look forward to it. My question, and maybe you have the answer to this, will we be able to hook up Bluetooth controllers to use with Google Chromecast TV?
So you can connect via Bluetooth to your Chromecast TV right now, or like Google TV, right?
That's
So
right.
maybe that's gonna be a possibility. Maybe you have to enable that first. But that will be a big plus. So if you have a PlayStation controller or Xbox controller, and then you just connect it via Bluetooth, why not? Maybe it's gonna be featured in a release later. But I think the big thing out that, like maybe that's why it took so long for Google TV to have Stadia, is because they release also on some TV. So like the Einsense, they have like I don't know the ONN, but Philips and Xiaomi like they have some of the TV model that you can be able to install Stadia app, and there's going to be a more that you can download as a beta to test it out. So maybe that's what they were waiting on, to release it on multiple like TV at the same time as Google TV. So who knows?
I mean, it's great news, especially with the ability to use your phone as a controller. You could get instant access to now, I think they have 3 free to play games. So there's essentially nothing stopping you from logging into Stadia on a Philips TV if you have one and just playing on your phone. Like it's crazy the access they have right now.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And you can use your phone as a tether to plug in your Xbox or PlayStation controller or any other controller you like to use. Um,
exactly.
yeah, and then like you can try Destiny, see if you like it, or like play Bomberman, or I think the other one is Pac-Man, right? So good game to play with the family.
Absolutely. I think they have some demos too. You can jump into Phoenix Rising or check out Hitman. So pretty cool. And then, jump on to Pro. Join the masses that we're trying to create.
Join the community.
Story number 2. We have this is for our American population. I think this is great news for the population of the Stadia community. AT&T is now offering 6 months of Stadia cloud gaming to their customers, 5G and fiber customers. So that's at home and wireless. So instantly all these AT&T customers are going to have 6 months of Stadia. They're going to get populated with all these games. And my thoughts on this right now, just hearing this, the next 6 months of pro games are going to be well thought out. they're going to be geared towards keeping these people on the service. I think we're going to see that. So I hope Pro really sort of brings it out and hooks these people.
Yeah, and that's an amazing deal, really, if you look at it. The fact that Google do a partnership with like a telecom, I'm hoping to see that in Canada too. Hope is the most we can get, because knowing our telecom, that I don't see the possibility to do a deal like that, but who knows? They can surprise us. That would be great.
Yeah, I look forward to it. I hope the population is growing as we talk because it came into effect June 9th. So hope those numbers are going up. Perhaps that's why I saw Bife playing on
On
playing on
state.
trials the
Yeah.
other day. You know, he could have been a part of this. So that's it could be. Could
Maybe
be.
he was
But
sitting in the park getting some sun playing on his phone.
there it is. I mean, now I'm jumping ahead of myself and we'll talk later, but with new optimization, you're there
Yeah.
on the data. So a game I've been looking forward to is Foreclosed. This game was picked up by Stadia makers, developers, and Tab Studios, and publishers Merge Games, and they put on a interview. So pretty interesting to look through. Some key features we can expect. You're going to have slick cyberpunk action. This is a narrative-driven action adventure set in a cyberpunk world filled with action, suspense, and experimental augmentations. So what I've seen is cool upgrades. You get comic book story panels. You get third-person action. I'm really looking forward to this. The high-tech combat, upgrading your augments, makes me think of Deus Ex. I'm not sure if you played that game back in the day, but upgrading yourself and the story is sort of based around, you know, you're just a small cog and you start to realize the larger system and how you can impact it. The developers were great. Grateful to be part of the Stadia Maker program. And it looks like through the interview, you can read yourself, but they're talking about how Stadia has actually provided support through the Makers program to help their development move along, optimize it. So I'm glad to see that Stadia is out there really helping these games, bringing them onto Stadia and not locking them in because they have the ability to then release their games to more people as well. So really helping the community at large. And I may be mistaken, but I just don't see that kind of play happening from a Luna, where they're out there. They're have their own studio, and I'll have to do some research into this. But I don't see them having like a makers program where they're really assisting the indies out there. And I guess I'd just like to see that, which is
Yeah,
cool.
I think that Google has like did a good move there, and the fact that they don't have their studio anymore, so they're reaching out to indie games like this, or even the big AAA games. So it's a good opportunity. And this game look amazing. I can't wait to play it. I don't know if it's gonna be a pro game. It could be. I wouldn't be surprised if I see it as a pro game, because yeah, with the help of Google, they can expand more from there. So excited to see that.
Oh, I have a sorry to burst your bubble. I have an announcement 1999 USD,
Oh,
August 12th release date.
oh,
So
there we go.
there we go. So that'll be very interesting. But that's according to sort of inverse.com. And they have the game trailer up with the release date and the price there. I mean, $20 is not a huge price point, and you know, you support an indie game maker, and the Stadia community really shows that it can work. So
And
we'll
maybe,
see that when it comes out.
yeah, maybe wait a couple of months and it's gonna come on Pro.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's always my downfall is I
Oh,
grab it right. Oh, Risk of Rain was the worst. And I grab that, and then like a week later, it's a pro title.
Yeah, or yeah, just wait that Ricardo buy the game and then it's gonna come out on Pro, right? That's how it works.
Yeah. So you need me to get it for it to come out on pro. That's the juju of it.
Oh, that's fun.
Okay. So looking forward to Foreclosed August 12th. Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. Number 4 we have moving along. The Moonlighter action RPG. Roguelike, which roguelite, sorry, which I enjoy the randomization. It looks like a simple, fun game. Simple combat styles, top-down view. It was like an 8-bit, like a cartoony art style, and interesting perspective where you're the shopkeeper and you're looking for items to sell to different people. So a little flip on the gameplay and the story there, and we can expect to see that on Stadia in the near future.
Yeah, it made me think a lot of a link to the Legend of Zelda Link to the Past style, like a Super Nintendo style. And then like you go through dungeon to collect item to sell in your shop. So yeah, interesting one.
Yeah, look forward to it, and yeah, Stadia keeps adding games, and we're happy to see it. I myself will most likely not jump into Moonlighter. I got a lot of Ubisoft titles I want to check out now. But you know what? I'm happy that they're expanding their catalog, and this looks like a different type of gameplay. So cool to see. Cool. We have story number 5 coming up. Now, Sunny, we're going off of Sunny Cloud here to have some fun. Sunny Cloud Gaming has his podcast, his YouTube channel, great place to find the news of the day. He has his daily shorts, 6 to 10 minutes of great information. Both Sebastian and I love the program, can't say nothing but good words about it. He was talking about EA announced 2 games for Stadia this year. I wanted to pose the question, what could they be? He's sort of asking the question on his podcast or his channel. So here we are talking about it. I went to the EA's Coming Soon webpage. They have 4 games listed on their Coming Soon. So this is where I'm getting my predictions. We have Battlefield and F1 Racing. Now, both of these games have their consoles listed out. So my hopes for these 2 games coming to Stadia as the 2 games are not good. Nads may have, or Sebastian may have, a different perspective on Battlefield. He'll get into that. But my prediction comes from the other 2 games on the list there, and that's the PGA Tour and the Lost in Random, which looks like a single player experience similar to Child of Light. Gives me those kind of vibes, mixed with Nightmares from Google Stadia. So we'll see how that plays out. Those are my 2 predictions that we will see from EA coming to Stadia. I think that's the most likely, especially with us having a PGA game previously on the platform. I think it's only natural for us to see the next version of it. So those are my 2 predictions. Sebastian, do you have any predictions from EA that you'd like to see or that you think is the most possible coming out?
Yeah, so Battlefield 2024 trailer came out. It looks amazing. So it's Battlefield 6. It would be great to have it on Stadia. Right now, they don't announce it to be on Stadia. Maybe it's gonna be a surprise move just before it comes out. Who knows? That will be like so great like, if they do that because they have that 64 versus 64 gameplay. But with like their recent gen console, they're gonna be able to do 124 versus 124. So crossplay is gonna have to be there if they do that. But that will be such amazing to do, and Stadia is going to be able to do it easily. If it doesn't come out, like, yeah, that's fine, but like it would be great to see on Stadia. F1 racing, that could be a possibility. It's going to release there. Like we already have some racing game PGA Tour. I think we already have a PGA Tour or like a golf game on Stadia. I wouldn't be surprised on that. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Like I mentioned before, I would love to see that on Stadia so I can play it. I heard only good thing about this game, or like all the compilation of game. And like if it comes out on Stadia, like I think my two favorite prediction would be Battlefield and Mass Effect, but most likely not gonna happen. NHL, yes, we have like Madden and FIFA already from EA. I wouldn't be surprised if it's another sports game because they can release. They already have the coding for like FIFA and Maiden, so like that would be possibly the option there. So yeah, Battlefield for sure. I'll be jumping on that. I play Battlefield on Xbox, so and I loved it. A very good game to play. So let's hope.
Let's hope. We can only hope. Well, cool to see coming out of EA. Cool to make some predictions, and we'll see what happens and what two games, if any, come to Stadia there. We got our next story, which is great news for everybody in lower data capped areas. So now you're going to be able to access Stadia's lower data usage mode. This is going to allow a 2.7 gigabyte per hour. You're going to have lower resolution, obviously. You won't be getting 60 frames per second at 4K. But this is great news for people who want to hop in and have data performance issues. I myself run into trying to play Monopoly with some friends who live in more remote areas, and they struggle in getting through a Monopoly game without some glitches and dropouts. So I look forward to the lower data cap. I think it's great, and when you're on mobile, to be able to not spend as much data, that's perfect. So great news there.
Yeah, exactly. I found like that's a good option. So I know like I've played on my phone before, away from home on Stadia, and the fact that you can use less data, it's great. I think that's gonna give the option for like if you play on PC, you bring your laptop, you hotspot your phone, plug into it, and you can reduce the data. So even better, right? So good thing to do.
Wicked. Now, this is some exciting news. I just heard about it 12 hours ago on Stadia, or sorry, on Ubisoft.com. You go to Riders Republic, and we'll throw the link down in our YouTube. But you can access, sorry, not yet, but you can sign up for their beta for Riders Republic. It's coming out September 2nd, but you can look forward to a beta coming onto Stadia. So it's easy to sign up for, and wait for more details coming from Ubisoft on this game, but pretty cool. I jumped into trials myself for the first time, and it was fun. I mean, it's an epic Sonic like BMX dream. The tricks are not easy to pull off. Balance is definitely a key item. I mean, it's a cool, fun little game, and especially for mobile. I could see it being a lot of fun on mobile because you're on that like certain track. You don't have to worry about left, right, the movement aspect. You're kind of just flowing along. So yeah, all great news. Riders Republic supposed to be a huge expansion on Trials. You're going to see 64 people in one map. You're going to see 6-person races. You're going to be able to go into jet wingsuits, snowboard, open maps. It's really looking like they took all the comments and everything they've learned from making this game, and they're putting it into this game right here. So the Riders Republic coming out September 2nd. Sign up for the early beta and check it out beforehand. And now we have reporting on our E3 event. Now, E3 is the electronic games show that takes place this time every year. And Sebastian is staying tuned in to E3, so he'll be able to give us what's going on there and what's happened in the first part of E3 so far.
Yes, exactly. So on day one, there was like Ubisoft that showcased their game and Gearbox. So I'll cover some of the portion and then mentioning about Riders Republic. That was one of them they mentioned on there. So basically, Ubisoft, like all their games gonna release is gonna come to Stadia. It's pretty amazing. So starting with Rainbow Six Extraction, that was their first trailer they put out. Looks amazing. Like it's coming out September 16, and I'm hoping it's gonna be crossplay also. That would be definitely great. Looking at the direction they're heading, it's most likely gonna be crossplay, and like it looks great. The trailer look amazing. They show some of the gameplay. Uh, it keep me hyped to like play the game. So I don't know about you, Ricardo. How did you find the trailer?
When I watched the trailer, I was instantly hooked. They have roguelite mixed with Rainbow Six, mixed with monsters and aliens. I mean, it looked beyond cool. You're going to be in small co-op fire teams, going in and clearing out these aliens, which seem to have all different powers. Some were in the walls that you had to like shoot through. Oh my gosh. I'm looking forward to the gameplay. I don't think Rainbow Six has made the jump into aliens and monsters. This is not a Tom Clancy title, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it
This
is.
Rainbow Six. Tom Clancy wrote a book about aliens and monsters and spies.
I don't know if it's just like their perspective from Ubisoft just creating like, but Rainbow Six, it's Tom Clancy it's
Oh
story
yeah,
basically. So but like in regards to that extraction, it make me think a lot of on Call of Duty can like fight zombie wave and stuff like that, and make me think a little bit of that, but like slightly different, where like you got a mission to accomplish, and when you accomplish it, you can keep going or like get out of there. So, and then like your teammate can get captured and you get to extract them. So the gameplay look amazing, and I think that's going to be a fun game to play together.
yeah. The one cool thing I remember hearing on the trailer was that if one of your teammates gets left behind, like you're dead. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, this is you got to stay within your team. It looks like they're implementing a lot of cool mechanics. It's going to be a very cool PVE experience. So yeah, look forward to that one. That's on the top of my list coming out of E3 so far.
Yes, and moving on, like Rainbow Six Siege. So it's a game that's already existent. It's a PvP more type gameplay. So you have like a team that's gonna raid a house or a building, and you have a team inside the building, like kind of defending it, or like they have an hostage or something like that. So it's coming out on Stadia on June 30th, so the 30th of June, and it's gonna be crossplay with PC and Luna and Stadia. So that's gonna be amazing. Um, PlayStation and Xbox crossplay is going to be coming early 2022. So um, look out for that. That's going to be good. The fact that it's coming out on Stadia, it's going to be crossplay. It's going to be amazing. Also, they have a new character added to it. So Thunderbird, I thought was like a DLC or something, but like it looks like they're adding a character. It's amazing because it's like a story about like, a Canadian Indigenous from Manitoba, and they bring more diversity like to the video game. So it's amazing for that. They have like a little bit of a story about like Indigenous and how they took that character because of their background, so they can have like the proper naming or like the proper name. Yeah, so it looks good. What do you think about the Siege there?
I look forward to jumping onto some Siege. PvP may not be the biggest draw for me as a PvP only game. The competition on this platform, this game has been massive. I remember before the virus, I actually went to a video game conference and they were having competitions. Team Canada was playing Team Nagasaki, and they were both like competing against each other in Rainbow Six Siege. My little brother is massive on Siege. He loves the game, has nothing but good things to say about it. I look forward to being able to jump on and sort of kick his butt. We'll see if I can do that. But that should be some good fun
Yeah.
jumping into Siege, especially with the Ubisoft Plus. I mean, there's just going to be no reason not to give it a try. So look forward to it. This new Thunderbird character, I'm super excited. As Canadians, we're happy to see the bigger spotlight shined on Canada. um I'm excited. I maybe just jump in to check out this Thunderbird character. I wonder what type of loadout or what they're going to give him. So that's cool to see.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like the Thunderbird's just gonna have like specific like ability to heal like the teammate from what I've saw. So yeah, excited to see too. Moving on, the next game. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So they looking at expanding more into it. So they didn't. They're not creating a new Assassin's Creed. Instead, they're gonna create expansion, which there are free if you bought the game, which is I love that. It's amazing. And even if you have Ubisoft Plus, you have it also. So they already came out with one recently, and they have this one coming out as a Siege of Paris. So it's great, another expansion, and also the new Discovery Tour. So they did that in previous Assassin's Creed, where like you can go and educate yourself on the history for, in this case, is Viking. I think the last one was about the pyramids in Egypt. So it's amazing they add like those little part in there that people just educate themselves. So I'm pretty
Yeah,
happy to see that.
just to jump in here
Mhm.
as a small correction. So they had, from what I believe the order is, they had Origins followed by Odyssey, which is the Greek and Roman times,
Mhm.
and then the one after that was the Valhalla. So I think
Okay.
that's the order of the creed, as I know so far.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
so basically they had that on Origin and also the Greek one. Is that right?
I've not actually heard of new Discovery Tour or that mode. So I mean,
Oh.
I'll check it out and see if it's on Odyssey and let people know and
Yeah, I
my
know.
opinion on it.
Yeah, I know it was on Origin from my understanding. That's when they came out the first time. So it's pretty good they did that. Um, next game they announced. So Far Cry 6, we all know it's coming out. They had a new trailer. It was great to watch. Like, oh my God, they do so much a good job to like the cinematic for that. It's looking very good, and then get me hyped to play Far Cry. And they added like with it like Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. Apparently that's one of their best expansion they came out previously. And also if you have the season pass, they include something about you use playing the old villain from previous Far Cry and fighting demons and stuff like that. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's pretty interesting that you use previous villain and you can become one of the villain to like try to fight your demons, I guess. So,
Wicked. I look forward to checking that out.
hmm the next big thing that was like came out of the blue, Avatar Frontier of Pandora. So we all know Avatar movie came out, I want to say close to 10 years ago, isn't it? And they've been in the work to create a second one. Like I heard rumor they like gonna come out with a second one. Well, Ubisoft is creating a game based on it. It looks amazing too, like gameplay. Like the trailer they show was like amazing. Um, yeah, I can't wait to see that. It's gonna come out to Stadia in 2022, so look up for that. And
Oh,
more.
so I got it here. I got it here. Avatar was released December 18th, 2009,
Oh wow.
making this IP what, 12 years old right now?
Yeah, 12, 13 years old. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, like the game looks amazing, so I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, all we have is some of the cinematic footage. We haven't seen gameplay footage yet. So look forward to being able to take a peek into that. One major point I want to make. Some people say Stadia is not a next gen console, but here we have solid proof. Stadia is a next gen console. Look at what it's able to handle. Proved itself on Cyberpunk, and here we go again. It's being one of the only platforms that this game is able to launch on because of its specs. So here we see Stadia just performing and making its case based on performance. So I'm excited to see that.
Yes, definitely. The next thing, so keeping with Ubisoft, they had some extra also in there. Some mentioned is the movie Werewolf Within, and also they have a show on Apple TV called Mythic Quest. I think they are getting into their second season, and there's more game they announced like with their partnership with Nintendo. So good show to watch. It's accessible on YouTube. Just go check it out. The next portion is E3 Gearbox. So briefly, what they had on there, they showcase a little bit more about the Borderlands movie. With some of the actor, they were speaking for themselves, like Kevin Hart. That was like amazing to see him on there. There's also Jack Black is going to be doing Claptrap, I think. So that's going to be an interesting one. And then also some of the interesting game they announced, because like some of the game they announced from Gearbox is not necessarily going to come on Stadia. Some of them is going to come on other platform. But the one piqued my interest is Home World 3. It's basically a 3D RTS. Apparently, the Home World 1 was like a very good game. I'll be interested to see that. It's like a space slash land a game where like you get to explore and then like expand your world, but like it's your battle is all RTS, if that makes sense. So look forward to it. The big one was like the spin-off of Borderlands, so Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Looks good. It's like more of their fantasy world, so fighting dragons. I don't remember seeing dragons in Borderlands, but like they have that part, so should be interesting. And that's pretty much it for Gearbox. They had like a couple announcement, like God's Fall for PlayStation and other games. So like, but like those one are the one that piqued my interest. So
Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Thanks. And we will be sure to give you more information on what's happening at E3 next week. Uh, Sebastian will stay on the beat, and I'm sure he will be noting all the most exciting things coming out of E3 for us.
yes, exactly. So there's day two happening now with Square Enix and Microsoft Bethesda. And there's like throughout the week, there's going to be more. So I'll pick everything related to Stadia in there.
Bethesda with now the power of Microsoft. I only hope we get to access it on Stadia, but we'll see.
Yeah, I wish like that's going to be a big power move on Microsoft. Like the fact they have access to Bethesda game. Like Elder Scrolls might only get released on Microsoft on Xbox or PC. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So thanks for the report on E3 Day 1. Look forward to more.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, this was a huge week filled with news, and there may have been some stories we missed. This was just the most important stuff that we thought to talk about. And thanks for listening. I do have a final thought just want to discuss here. After experiencing Ubisoft Plus, after this deal that they came out with, you can access it right on Stadia. I'm now wondering, are we going to see a pro lineup that is more geared towards optimizing your subscriptions? I really don't want to see July's pro games be Scott Pilgrim, Assassin's Creed, and Wildlands. I want to see them optimize on people with both subscriptions. So I hope they really just keep Ubisoft off of the pro list, or I hope they keep it to a minimum, only one game out of 4 or 5 games a month. What are your thoughts on this? What do you see coming from Stadia Pro subscription lineups?
I think they might not like get Ubisoft game on the Pro lineup just because of like the subscription with Ubisoft Plus. So maybe there's going to be a deal happening. What I would like to see is that if you have Stadia Pro and you get the subscription of like Ubisoft Plus, you get a deal on or discount on like Stadia Pro subscription, or either or. That would be good. That would be attracting more people to get both subscription. But like you said, I hope they're not gonna do like, come out with like a game within the Ubisoft Plus and add it to the Pro subscription, because then like it's gonna be people's gonna decide to remove the Ubisoft Plus, I'm guessing. So I don't know how it's gonna look like. Keep in mind Ubisoft Plus, you get all the extra. So if you buy the standard edition of, let's say, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, you don't get all the addition. Like, so with Ubisoft Plus, you get the Ultimate Edition. So I don't know. Maybe it's gonna, if like they do that, let's say they add like Ghost Recon onto Stadia Pro, but they give only the standard edition. Maybe it's gonna push people to go towards the Ubisoft Plus to get all the extra or the DLC and stuff like that. Who knows? We'll
That's a
see
good
what
point.
happens.
Thinking about it, I can't recall a single Ubisoft game on Pro.
No,
I don't think Ubisoft has released a game or been a part of the Pro subscription catalog.
I don't think either. And I think that's the move they did. Like the fact that Ubisoft partner with Stadia right from the beginning, that's a big move for Ubisoft, and that's a great move, I think. And
Yeah.
that's maybe where they decided, like they talking with Google, saying like, we want to be part of your program, but we don't want to give like a pro game. We want to put our Ubisoft Plus on the subscription in there. Maybe that was the deal they did with Stadia. So who knows, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. And I'm glad they're not mixing and matching because I hate that.
Yeah, and you're very lucky like that. You buy the game and they come out on pro, so
I have that gift. I have the gift to me, yes. Well, thanks guys for tuning in this week. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like the video if you're watching on new YouTube. Hit that notification bells to get alerts whenever we release new videos, new game streams. Comment, leave a like. Tell us all about Stadia in your gaming life. You can find us on anywhere you can find podcasts these days. We're on 6 different platforms. Just look up Stadia Party Chat Podcast. Coming soon to Apple, but all other sources, just look us up. YouTube, for sure. You can see us in person. And yeah, don't forget to tune in next week where we'll go over more E3 and more of the news coming out this week.
yeah.
So thank you for listening. Thank you, Sebastian, for co-hosting.
Thank you. And hope to see you guys next week.
For sure. Thanks and take care.